What's up, guys? It's finally that time of season again. I get to do my FNCS predictions. I've been doing this for the last few seasons, and because I've never really been that close to guessing, we're going to do this a little bit different. So this time, we are going to do, I will guess the top 15, and then after day 1 of Global Championship, I will make another video talking about what place in specific they'll get. So I'm not going to put them in place today. I'll put them in place after day 1 of Global Championship. Be ready for that video. It's going to be September 9th, I think. I could be wrong about that. I'll post something on my Twitter. I'll put it in the description or something. Anyways, be on the lookout for that video, and let's just get right on into it, talking about, like, the 15 teams. So for one of the 15 teams, we have an obvious one. It's going to be Peterbot and Pollo. They've won the last 2 seasons on and they dominantly. Like, Clicks could have been close last season, realistically, if he didn't get grieved. But I think Peterbot probably still would have taken it home. Because his last 3 or 4 matches of day 2 were, like, so consistent. He got so many points in just those matches. It was, like, some crazy, like, 300 points in the last 3 or 4 matches. So, like, Peterbot has always just been, like, very dominant. He always has his dominant runs where you have a good season or 2, and then kind of fall back down. Anyway, I'm going to have them definitely in the top 15, and then, like I said, after day 1, I'll put them in a spot. Like, say they're first on the leaderboard, I'm probably going to keep them first, because they are, obviously very good, and they've really never fallen off after being day 1, like Peterbot in specific hasn't. Like I said, he's won the last 2, Grands. He had the Grim Gate Dash coin the one time and the Red Line the other time. And he's going for Raft again. He seems to win off of these dominant POIs. If you remember, in Season 1, he had the Mr. Savage drop, which had drones, which almost gave him a guaranteed double grappler every game because the drones were very OP. They still are, but besides the point. He won 6 out of 6 dual cash cups, or 4 out of 4 dual cash cups in the season with Grim. And then last season, he also did very, very good. I think he won 3 out of 6 cash cups or whatever it was. Peterbot has really not fallen off the pace. He's still, like, easily one of the best. And Pollo, obviously. Pollo's still goated. Yeah, they're definitely in the top 15. Next up, I'm basically just going with, like, the biggest names down. We got Booga and Aviv. Aviv has no LAN experience, but obviously Booga, I think, has one of the most in the entire lobby. He played Global Championship, FNCS Invitational, World Cup, and he played at almost all the, like, dream hacks they had back in Chapter 2. I'm just gonna go, like I said, I'm going with, like, the most known players first. Yeah, I feel like they're just an obvious 15. Like I keep saying, like, I'm gonna predict it again after day 1 to figure out the exact placement, but I think he's easily a top 15. They had a 3rd place the one season they played. Then Booga decided to drop Aviv like he does with all of his teammates because he's kind of slow in the head sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's besides the point, you know. They placed 3rd, and then he got 11th with Agers. Then they got 7th in the last Grands to qualify for Disc Globals. That's coming up, like, next week. Yeah, I think it's an obvious pick. They won the first dual cash cup of the season as well, which is just a great sign. Their drop is kind of bad for Surge, but they do they have a decent amount of teams around them they could get Surge for. It's just kind of on the edge of the map. If they pull decent zones, like, they could easily be a top 5. If they don't pull zones, they could go more like 15th kind of area, or like 10th maybe. But yeah, I think they're gonna place top 15. Next up on my list, which this probably should have been earlier if I was going with big names, Clicks and Vino. Like, they could have won last season, like I touched on at the beginning of the video with Peterbot. But anyway, they placed 4th. Clicks' 3rd, 4th place in the Grand Finals. And I've seen some people saying he's in 4th to Global Championship. Now, I genuinely think he has a chance to win. It depends if Peterbot full commits for that forecast tower, or what goes on with the forecast tower, because Peterbot is trying to fight for that. So if Clicks and Menno can back them off, like, a few of the games and get the forecast tower, that would be very clutch for them. And I heard Ozzy touch on a little bit in his predictions video that maybe their mountain will get contested and they'll lose some of their loot. That is the only way I see them not placing in the top 10. Because they have plenty of loot. They get plenty of Surge. They have plenty, like, every single thing is good for them right now. So the only thing could be their loot getting cut off. Outside of that, obviously, they're probably going to place top 15. Yeah. They've been very consistent. Like I said, fourth last season. They won a dual cash cup last season. They just placed third in the last dual cash cup, fighting Peterbot almost every game. So I mean, I have complete faith in them placing top 15 with no problem. Next up, I got Cooper and Kanata. Like, once again, it's just such a good team that they can't not place top 15, you know what I'm saying? Top 15 is a very, like, it's a good margin for, like, these very good teams. Cooper and Kanata are uncon at Nitro Dome. They've been playing all the scrims, just not together. Ozzy said it was probably because of their vibes, so they don't want to, like, yell at each other because somebody makes a mistake in scrims, so then they, like, throw the vibes off. And I could really understand that. This is actually really smart. And we all know, like, Kanata and Cooper are very smart. Like, they like, are very smart players, especially when it comes to grands. Kanata is just like Cammy and Seti. Like, he comes up with the most insane strategies for, like, grands and stuff. Like, yeah, there's just no way they're not placing top 15. Even if they're conned off spawn, I still see them in top 15. Last time they were conned at the last Global Championship, they placed, like, it was really bad. But they were conned by Malamuka and Mustache. They beat them, like, 4 out of 6 times. They absolutely ran through them. I think they'll be fine. They have good surge. They have plenty of people around them. They have a good spot to get surge. I don't think they have anything that's going to go wrong for them unless they get, like, contested. And then I still think they probably will place top 15. Because top 15, like I said, is a very wide margin. They placed, like... And also, they placed, like, 3rd in Grim Gate season. They placed 13th last season. So, not, like, the greatest performances in the last Grands, but other than that, like, they're looking good. Next up, one of the teams I was just talking about comes up with the crazy strategy. We got Cammy and Seti. This duo is kind of like the duo, like, LAN champions. They're, like, the best LAN players. From, like, any LAN, they're always winning. Like, FNCS Invitational, first, and then FNCS Global Championship second, and then that Gamers 8 tourney, Cammy won with Jack, I want to say, and then I think Seti won a DreamHack back in the day, so they were both just insane at LAN. So I think, like, no matter what, they're gonna place, like, top 5 just because of how good they are on LAN. But like I said, like, I'm gonna predict them after day 1. So if they're not in the top 5, I might not put them top 5. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Cammy and Seti are a crazy duo. They got the Cammy split again, even though they were conned last time and it kind of threw them off because they lost most of their games off spawn in last Grands. They placed really low on the leaderboard. I think that's going to change. Like I said, they come up with crazy strategies. And so, like, they're obviously going to be a top 15 team. I don't have any worries about them placing below top 15. Next up, I got the underdogs of last season, Batman, Booga, and Rapid. They placed second. I had them kind of low on my list because I kind of thought the dual cash cups, the 2 dual cash cups that they won, were kind of like fluke type of cash cups, so they just got kind of like a few good games and it just kind of boosted them up, which is kind of probably dumb on my part because you don't just win 2 dual cash cups and they're both flukes. But you know, I put them at like 8th last season, they got second. Last Global Championship, they actually ended in 9th, which is a really good performance for both of their first lands. So I think, like, they can easily probably get a top 10 again, but I think 15, obviously, like, they'll be fine. The Grands before Grim Gate season, they placed, like, pretty poorly in that. They got, like, a 20th or something, which isn't great. But, like, they brought it back last season with second. And, yeah, they're just a pretty good duo overall. And they're going to be on 0 ping when they used to be on higher ping. So, yeah, I think they'll easily get top 15 here. Reet and Ritual, which I love this team with, like I've always hyped them up. I've always put them high up on leaderboards and stuff. I kind of did have them lower last season because they were kind of playing trash and they didn't do that good in Greens. It kind of disappointed me, you know. But, I mean, I think they're going to easily get top 15. Like I keep saying, like, top 15 is like a wide margin. So, like, you would have to dodge so many games to not get a top 15. Even though it's a global lane. They're going for the Doom Castle, fighting Epic Whale and Muzz, but they're not actually going to be fighting. They're going to be splitting the POI. I actually don't know who's getting a medallion right now.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's just whoever gets to it first right now. I don't know. They're definitely not fighting, though, because neither of those teams want to sell their global championship, considering especially Epic Whale and Muzz barely qualified. They qualified by, like, 2 placements last season to get to the global champs. Yeah, they placed, like, 10th in their first season together. Reet and Ritual placed, like, they placed, like, 21st last season. But before that, they placed 2nd and they placed, like, 5th. So they're still, like, obviously at the top of their game. Next up is Rizon and Verdale. Now, Rizon and the Verdale, they're, like, the German goats, you know what I'm saying? They're both like two of the greatest fighters. They're going for the Dunes, whatchamacallit, with the pistol thing. And they have Cheap and Amzo taking half the POI, or like a third of the POI, and then Shalom and Zagu taking the other half. But they're getting the most of the loot, because they're getting the boss there that gives the pistol. I don't remember what the POI is called. Some weird POI. Anyway, I think, like, top 15, like, I think they'll get top 15, especially with that pistol. And like I said, like, I'll rank them actually in placement after Grant, or after day one. Yeah, I think this team actually has a good chance at winning with the pistol, because it's really good for Surge, and they're a really good fighting team if their Surge doesn't work out or whatever. Yeah. Easy top 15. Next up, I got Vico and Flixie. They won last season on EU out of nowhere. They won some cash cups during the season, and they had a lot of kills. It actually wasn't really out of nowhere. But last season, they were like the highest fragging team in every tournament. They had the most kills, like the most damage to like damage taken ratio. They were so good last season. And so I don't see any world where they don't get a top 15 with Uncon Reckless Railways. Like, I can see them maybe struggling on Surge because there's no teams around them, but they have a forecast tower they can fight for. They have plenty of teams around them they can like get into many fights with. They love to do that, by the way. I heard like that's what they did last season on EU to end up winning, is just taking small fights to get a little bit of Surge. But yeah, after winning, like, to not get top 15 in the land would be insane. I think there's no way they don't place top 15. We'll just have to see, but like I said, I'll bring them after day one. Boots and Spinks is my next pick. Like, this might come as an underrated pick, but they have good chances for Surge. They have good loot at Brawler's Battleground. Last season they got like 6th. It's top 15, like I keep saying. We'll just have to see. Dukes and Spinks, I love this team. They're really they're a pretty cool team overall. Dukes is really cool. I love Dukes. I've always loved Dukes because he played with Clicks that one time, and I knew who he was. Anyway, that's besides the point, you know. Like I said, they have an Uncon drop at Brawlers. They placed 6th last season. Like, they're looking pretty good, and Dukes obviously has land experience, and Spinks. Spinks actually placed pretty good at the Global Championship. I don't remember exactly what he placed, but he did at least, I think he got top 15. And Dukes did good when he played with Clicks, because they were conned and still got top 15, which is insane. Like, in a 12-game format, to be conned 12 out of 12 games and still get top 15 in like a LAN event is absolutely absurd. So he obviously has lane experience and stuff. Brycex and Bolts. This team I thought really high of in the last 2 seasons. Like, I've always loved Bolts. Like, Bolts is such a mechanical player. He's very good. He won the last FNCS on NA West. He's always been a very good fighter. I feel like all the West players were like very good fighters, like Snacky, Reed, Bolts. Like, they're all crazy fighters. West has some crazy fighters we just never knew about until they moved to Central. That's beside the point. Anyway, I think Bryce and Bolts are getting their forecast tower. Like I said, Vico and Flixie might try to fight them, but they're still getting their forecast tower probably most of the time. Yeah, I don't see why they couldn't top 15. They got 6th last season. Like, they're probably good. Let's be real. They got 6 back to back, actually. Let's just be real though. They're getting top 15, right? They're getting top 15. Alright, now this is the only hit or miss pick I've had so far, and that's Malabuka and Merstash. Last time they were conned, like I said, it was by Kanata and Agers. They ended up losing most of their all spawn fights. But this time it's by a worse team of Alex and Worthy, which I'm not saying Alex and Worthy are bad. It's just Malabuka and Merstash have been around for like a while, and they are very good fighters and players in general. But like, I think this off spawn fight could go sort of 50-50 depending on how much each team is preparing for the off spawn fight. But I think like the reason it's hit or miss is just because they could lose a few games off spawn, and that would be it. But obviously Malabuka and Merstash are 2 of the most decorated players ever. Yeah, they're gonna do good. Like, let's be real here, top 15. Yeah, Malabuka and Merstash should get that unless they just die off spawn a lot. Acorn and Cold. Now I don't give a fuck that Acorn and Cold are calm. Cause you know what? Alex and Sato, y'all saw my dick, boy. Cold will literally 1v2 y'all dumbasses, alright? You trust me on this one, okay? Y'all 1v2 y'all dumbasses. Don't you dare, bro. Don't you dare, bro. Y'all better back off. I ain't gonna lie. Anyway, Acorn and Cord, I feel like they'll win the off-spawn fight. And with how they play, like, in end games, they get, like, fucking like 7 kills during end games. And, like, win. Like, it's insane. It's like, if they make it off once 6 out of 12 games, I see them getting, like, fucking, like, 3 wins, probably. And so, like, in their day 2 comebacks are just insane. So, like, every time they've been caught on day 1, they've been caught on day 2, too. And then they fucking, like, just roll the team off spawn and then do crazy on day 2. So I don't think it'll really matter. I think they'll be chilling. They'll still do good. They'll obviously get top 15 because Acorn and Cole we're talking about here. Fuck you, Alex and Sato. Y'all aren't getting to up top like 50, bro. Y'all might get 50 if I ain't gonna lie. Next up to finish off the whole entire video. Chiefs and Yamza. This is not like a real duo. Like, they're just playing because Turtle couldn't play. It's just Chiefs' original duo who he qualified with on EU. Now he's playing with the Amza who did not qualify with Dason. Yeah. I could see this team easily not placing top 15. They don't have chemistry very much. They're like a last minute duo, like I was just touching on. Like, Andy Amza just came off the back and not qualifying, so he's probably kind of like a little bit demotivated. But he's probably still motivated because he got to go to land. Besides the point, anyway. Like I said, they're conning Rezon in the video a little bit. They're like the same spot. But I don't think it'll really matter for a team like this. I think a top 15 is very doable. We'll have to go over their placements after day 1. Alright, now to recap my top 15. Not the top 15, like not in order. I'm going to put it in order like I keep saying. After globals, I might honestly make it a short, me recapping it, but I don't know. We'll have to see. It might just be a short video. Anyway, it's going to be up on screen. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Go follow my Twitter. Dude, I have like 200 followers. Come on, go follow my damn Twitter, bro. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm out. Peace.